So I practice at Brother a technique we developed called ABC. And what it means is this. We have basically 3 plans for everything. So if we're trying to grow our sales, for example, we'll have plan A, which is sort of our actual plan, what we think is going to happen. Then we talk about the big plan. So if plan A is what we've come up with, what could plan B look like, and what would it take to deliver a plan B, which is bigger than plan A? Hey, that would be exciting. That creates lots of creative thinking thoughts. And then plan C is, listen, if how we've guessed things goes wrong, what's our contingency plan? And a bit like an economist would have, I guess, John. You know, when the Bank of England do their forecasts, they've got 2 lines, haven't they, where they think it's going to be, where it might go, or where it might go positive and negative. And that gives you a period of bandwidth, or a position of bandwidth to work within in terms of your financial planning. So what that allows me to do is to say, well, actually, what would I need to invest? So if plan A is this and we're going to make that amount of money, if plan B is to go big, I've got to find another 250,000 for an investment. What's the risk attached to it? And I can evaluate it and decide whether to go for it or not go for it. And plan C is guys, if those things don't happen, am I still going to make the number at the end of the year? And providing I can still make the number at the end of the year with a C, then I'm actually much more inclined to back plans that go B, because I kind of know C is taken care of. And you know, if you want to upwardly influence in your own organization to try and get people to back your ideas more, go ABC with it. Because actually, your chief executive, your MD is going to listen to you because you've thought it through, and it's more than a big idea. It's actually a big idea with some oomph and some gumption and some contingency behind it, which is kind of where I'm sitting in my sort of cockpit with all my levers and my dashboards. I quite like it when people come with that, because I can go, I believe you've got a ham moment. You've just done one hearts and minds right now, because I love your idea, I love the numbers, and I can see I've got a contingency plan if this whole thing doesn't work. Let's go and have an adventure. So ABC is crucial. I found that a key thing was giving permission for innovation to happen in my organization. People were quite scared to do it because they just think, you know, what if I do it and I fail? Because it's the failure which people focus on. And all good innovation is based around failure. You know, it is about the ideas that got started which didn't make it to learn from to make the ideas that did make it. All successful entrepreneurs have failure on their CV. It's just the way that we look at it here in the UK. We see failure very negatively. Go to America, they just go, you want backing from a VC. They're looking on your CV to see how many times you've failed. They see that as a positive thing. And I learned that from just spending time with people who've been in that community. So I literally had to give permission to people to say, guys, it's okay for us to fail. As long as we've got our ABC in place, if plan B fails, it's all right. My expectation is I knew what we were going into. So go on, get out there and give it a good go. Let's see what we can actually create. But as long as you take the learning away from it, that's the key thing. Spending a lot of time with the army, one thing I loved about them is they see lessons very differently. They see lessons as 2 things. A lesson is identified and a lesson that's learned. And quite often, you identify lessons, but you never learn from them because you make the same mistake again, or you repeat that behavior. So it's all about saying, what can we identify from what we've just done that we need to learn from, and how are we going to implement the learning from now on? Because unless you do the implementation bit, again, you're just thinking about thoughts and words, and organization never becomes a learning organization. And you must become a learning organization if you see innovation as being a key backdrop to how you can create more competitive advantage in your market, locally, regionally, or internationally. Be inquisitive. I've learned to be really inquisitive with people that I meet. I ask more questions than I anything else. You know, particularly people in my own organization, you know, I'm always asking kind of, you know, where's the pinch point? What's the problem number one problem on your desk right now? What's the biggest opportunity you think we could realize kind of next week if you had the time and the money? Asking those interesting, open questions really gets fantastic opportunities back, and you just uncover amazing things. So in my organization, I have to preserve time to walk the floor a lot, to be visible, to be out in the community of people. You know, we installed Yammer a social network for internal social networking to get far more transparency across the whole organization on ideas. So people could immediately question, does anybody know about this? And that came simply through coffee mornings with people that I work with. Sitting down with people and going, hey guys, how do you think we could kind of increase communication and conversation in the organization? They said, well, we're all working, we're such a big company, we all work in different places, we just need almost a common way of doing this. And without putting on a networking evening in my whole organization every Wednesday night, which is mandatory to come to, which nobody would want to come to, we just found a technology solution, and it's working really, really, really well. We've started a big conversation. So please be nosy. Be nosy with the people that you work with. Go deeper than when you say, how are you? And they go, I'm fine, thank you. Yeah. Go beyond the preconditioned response and say, no, what I actually asked was, how are you? What's going on in your world? What's new? What should I know about? Come on, talk to me. Then you start to get the pure nuggets of gold in your organization. It takes time and trust to build up that feedback.